right, this is another episode of a Kiki with K, and I'm just gonna wait for a Jazmyn to join. I'm hot. Hey, baby mama. Okay. I'm waiting on Jazmyn to join us here so that we could talk about personal brands, okay? I know it's a pineapple too, Ty. I know you love your pineapples, girl. Thank you. Okay, I'm hot, sweating. Okay, Jazmyn, where you at, girl? I don't know where she at. Okay, here Jazmyn has joined the chat. Let's get Jazmyn on up in here. Oh, hey, Leanne, girl. Okay, we are talking about personal branding today.
Yes.
One and only Jazmyn Anderson-Creer. Okay,
yes.
You gotta put some respect on her last name.
Yes, come on, last name. Hey, girl.
Okay, hey, girl. How is life? What is going on? What is quarantine like?
It's good. Quarantine's not too bad. I prefer working from home, so that's really good. It's been hot lately, as most of y'all know, so I feel like being home when it's hot is just a whole lot. But other than that, it's been really good. I've been cooking, been walking, dog been acting crazy, but you know.
What have you been cooking now?
Let's see, some orange, here comes my dog right now. Orange chicken, teriyaki chicken. I make a white chicken chili. That's super good.
What?
Yes, that's a really good recipe, my dog. And yeah, so everything's been really good though. I know I haven't seen you since the wedding.
Since the nuptials. So it's
Literally.
good to see you.
Yes, it's good to see you too.
Still on honeymoon, newlywed, cloud 9.
Yeah, look, I wish it was honeymoon, but cloud 9, it's still good. It's still good, even though we haven't honeymooned yet. So
right, stupid quarantine and COVID,
right,
and Corona, and any other alias she wants to have.
Put a dip in the plans, like.
Okay. So Jazmyn, in my mind, like you are like brand expert, right? Because you embody your brand so well. Like knowing you personally, I know it's beyond just being online. Like this is you. So talk about how your personal brand came about, what it means, and all of that.
Okay, sounds good. So, hey y'all, for those that don't know me, my name is Jazmyn. I have a blog called Daily Dose of Luxury. I'm a newlywed. I'm from LA, and I've known Candace. I met Candace through my now husband, so I've known her for, I feel like almost like 10 years at this point. It's so long, I feel like. So I have a background in event planning. My degree is in events. So I just knew that was like my thing. Like I'm for sure going to be an event planner. Like that's my thing. But halfway through, I just really did not feel it. It just wasn't in my heart. I wasn't passionate about it. It was feeling more like a chore. So I was like, you know what? I really wanted a blog. I feel like now is the time. And I feel like I went through a mourning period of like letting go of what I thought my identity was supposed to be and like what it was supposed to be in. So that was its own like phase. But once I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take the leap. I have to get over the fear of what other people will say, what other people will think. Cause that's always like, so that's like the main thing I feel like when you start a brand, it's like, what will people think? Are people going to think I'm this, I'm that? But I just went for it. So I started my blog 2 years ago, it'll be 3 years in November, November 2nd, 2017. And I just was like, you know what? I don't care if the site is ugly. I don't care about none of that. I am about to launch. So I did. And I've been going ever since. And, you know, things changed along the way. What I thought was this and that, I feel like I've really come into who I wanted to be through having a personal brand. So I'm just really, really excited. And I love blogging and social media. and talking to
Yes.
people. So it's totally, I definitely did, I really did come into my thing. So having a personal brand will really help you shed some stuff, like for real.
Ooh. Okay, so let's talk about it. What are some of the things that you know has revealed itself through finding your personal brand?
That there's just so many things. Like for one, you really have to just believe in whatever it is that you're putting out, with, even if it's not on social media, like whatever you're doing, if you're a makeup artist, if you're a hair, whatever it is, you really have to believe in yourself. And I just really had to get with God about that. Like, okay, I really, really care what people think about me. Like, I really, really care what people are going to say. But then it's like, okay, and then what though? Like, they can say something, and then what though? Like, what are you going to do about it? So just really giving myself the space and the freedom to just really just let go and just step out and not think about it. Like, okay, you know what? I don't care who is looking. Like, I have to do this for myself. I really have to just be confident. Like, really, I feel like it took me a really long time to be confident. And that's probably, some people will probably look in and be like, oh, that's super weird to hear. But like, truly, like, you know what? Like, I am doing something dope. I believe in myself. Like, that whole experience is something totally different, like, than I would say where I used to be. So just really allowing myself to just step into it all, be bold, just do it. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, people are not gonna like it. Somebody's not gonna like it. What's the worst that can happen? It can go really, really well is what's, the best thing. So I just try to keep that mindset, just like, you know what, even when I feel like I'm comparing myself to people, even when I feel like so-and-so is doing better, or she's doing this, or whoever is doing that, I have to just really think about, like, you started this thing, like, you started with nothing. You started with nothing, and now this is where you are. So just really being confident in myself.
Yes. Okay, explain to me how you landed on Daily Dose of Luxury. Okay, before that, what's in the cup? What are you drinking?
Girl, just water, first of all, only because I had a milkshake earlier. So I was like, I just can't even have a glass of wine. So I have
water in a wine glass. I'm okay with that.
Right, we kept it cute. We kept it cute.
Okay, so
we kept
Daily
it cute.
Luxury. Daily Dose of Luxury.
Yes.
How did it come about? What's the origins behind it?
So when I was thinking of a name, so my other brand was called Gold Label Events, which I really liked, but I was like, you know what, when I think of my blog, it has to be something that's like really, really me. And, I feel like I've grown up a certain way, like I've done certain things, lived a certain life. And I was like, man, like, what's my vibe? Like, what's my style? So I always say, when people ask me like, oh, like, how would you describe your style? Thanks, Max. I would say it's laid back luxury. Like, I love a good, comfortable look, but I'm going to throw in like a super, high stiletto. I'm going to like throw a bag with it. So I just felt like, how could I make that my name? But laid back luxury didn't seem to work. Like, it didn't seem like I couldn't see it being that didn't seem to flow. So then I was just looking up, I'm obsessed with, what's it called? Thesaurus.com. So I was like, okay, like, what other terms can I use that'll just make this good? Like daily this, daily dose. And I was like, okay. So I asked my girlfriends, we had a group chat, and I was like, choose like daily dose of luxury, laid back luxury, blah, blah, blah. What do you guys think? So they helped me choose. So Daily Dose of Luxury is where I landed. And I like it because I feel like it's, and I always talk about this, it's not necessarily like just a ton of material things. It's just, it's a lifestyle. It's an experience. Like we deserve to have these experiences, to live life a certain way, to go have, a good dinner, to go have a good glass of wine somewhere on the rooftop. Like, that's what you deserve. That's what we deserve. So I just really wanted to show people that you can live a really good life, whatever that looks like for you, and you don't have to feel any kind of way about it. Like, do your thing.
Okay.
Do your thing.
Do your thing.
Yes.
Takeaways. Do your thing.
Yes.
Can you provide us with any tips that you've learned on your personal branding journey as far as using and leveraging social media and what that looks like?
Yes. So number one, so I have three, I wrote it down too. So the number one reason why you want a personal brand and anything of your own is purely for ownership. Like, it's yours. No one can take it away from you. Whatever job you work, whatever it is, your personal brand is yours for you to use how you want to. Maybe it's not to be an influencer. Maybe it's to be an activist. Maybe it's to, you know, spread news about whatever is going on in the world. But the ability to have complete and total control over something that you are building, that God has put in you, I feel like that there's just such a freedom behind that. And to be a Black person, like to just be all the way clear about it, to be a Black person and have the opportunity to build something beyond our college degrees, beyond our resumes, beyond the things that we're supposed to do in order to be seen as successful. Like that looks like so many things now. Like what is success, you know, what does success look like now? Oh, I'm a top editor. I'm a this, I'm a that. There's so many different ideas of the good life. And I really encourage people to use a personal brand, to create a personal brand to get to those things, whatever their thing is. It doesn't have to be social media. So, oh, and then the other thing, so like you said, leverage. So the reason why it's good to have a personal brand too is because you can then leverage that for whatever you're doing. If you're going to med school, like, you know what, when you write your dissertations and all these things, like, you know what, I have a brand that I've been running for XYZ years. You know, it's taught me this, it's taught me that, it's helped me be, you know, this over here. There's so many things that having a personal brand opens up in individuals. And I think people really want what it offers, but are sort of afraid to go after it. And I feel like you're almost like forced out of your comfort zone. You're forced to be real. Like there's no smoke and mirrors in this. You can only put on a front for so long. Like if you're really about it, like you have to be about it. And I think that's the one thing I've learned. Like I could have been like, oh, like I'm kind of in it. Like I kind of blog, like I kind of do this. And then it's kind of like, oh, like that's cool. Like, you know, I don't take her seriously, but it's like, you know, like I feel like I've made a name for myself. Like, even if it's just for this many people, I don't even care how many people it's for, but I'm really proud of that. And I just really feel proud that it's like, man, like this is what I decided to build. Like, I just want people to understand that they can take what's inside of them and literally use it for anything. And having a personal brand, like you get to tell the story, you get to be the front person controlling your narrative. I think so many people try to tell our story for us, or we, you know, expect other people to tell our story. Like, yeah, well, you know, no, I'm gonna tell my story for you. And this is how I'm coming up. Like, this is what I'm bringing to the table. So it's just really important for ownership, leverage. And then I really feel like depending on what your personal goals are, I feel like it allows you again to just shed all the BS, like be real with yourself. Like, what is it that you want? I want to be married. I want 3.5 kids. I want the car. I want the what is that you want? Like, be clear about it and then go get it. And I feel like a personal brand can definitely help you get there, however you decide to use it.
Absolutely. So it sounds like you're very much in the whole manifestation,
yes,
see it, dream it, believe it, achieve it,
yes,
type journey.
Yes.
So I have to ask because, I mean, her name is hot in these streets, but like behind the whole B. Simone manifestation thing, from a brand perspective,
yes,
what are your opinions on how that all turned out and played out?
I think, see, this is the thing, and it's one of those things too, because I feel like someone like her, I feel like she had the desire to make it public. And I think even when you have a personal brand, not every single thing needs to be perfect. However, I will say she said what she was going to do, and then it showed up. So, you know, it's one of those things where you really have to believe it, and you never know who God, so I believe in God, for those who are watching. You never know who God is going to use to, you know, to come bring you through. Like, there's people that I met that I know for a fact, like, God has put them in my life for a reason. They've been able to say my name in certain rooms. They've been able to bring me along. I can come here, I can go there. And I know that's for a purpose. And I always think there are people that I could have said no to for certain opportunities that were to better me, I could have been like, no, you know, like, I'm not ready. I'm not in that space to do it. But all the times I've said yes, it's turned into something so much better. So I feel like in her case, it was probably just a lot of saying yes to herself. Like, you know what? I really want to go. I'm gonna be a millionaire, is what she said. I'm gonna do this. Her and her girlfriend opened up that place. Like, I want a brick and mortar too, girl. So I was definitely like, yes, get you a whole storefront.
Okay.
I'm totally here for it. But it's like, you really have to believe that not only one, you can have it, but that you are worthy, that you're worthy of having it, but that you deserve it as well. And it's not even like a conceited thing, like, oh, I deserve this. You know, people are always like, oh, millennials are so entitled. Like, why can't I have that though? Like, I'm sorry that I've thought so highly of myself that I figured, you know what, I can and I should have something like this. Like, who to say that you can't? I feel like people are very quick to tell us, oh, you can't do that. You know, we've seen it with our parents. I know my mom always tells me, I wish I would have started a brand. I wish I would have, you know, created my own jean line like I wanted to. All of these things. So I know she's super proud of me. Like, my daughter just does what she wants to do. She's going after it. She has a brand. You know, she can do this. All these things have come, and it's just one of those things. Like, you just have to say yes. Like, what's the worst that can happen? Okay, I didn't like that. I'm not gonna do that again. You know, you figure it out along the way. There's no like ideal blueprint to the thing, which is what makes the journey so special for each person though. Like, my journey is not your journey, and then B Simone's journey is definitely not my journey. So it's one of those things where you really have to just appreciate, which I'm still learning, like, very much so. I would be lying to you guys if I was like, oh, I just never like have a bad day. Like, it's so perfect over here, which is totally not true. Like, the last couple of weeks, I've definitely been dealing with comparison, been feeling like I'm not doing enough. And mind you, like, we're all at home first and foremost. So first and foremost. But you know, that's what I've been battling with the last couple of weeks. So this past weekend, I just had to get with God, like, scratch all of that. Like, you brought me up to this point. Like, you put me here. You put this inside of me. You gave this to me. So what am I even tripping off of? Like, do what you do what you've been doing. If you want to go harder, then do that. But don't be looking left and right, trying to figure out what someone else is doing, because it's not going to, it doesn't solve your problem. Absolutely. It keeps you right where you are. So, yeah, just, I'm like
dropping gems. That's what you're doing. You're dropping gems.
Yes.
In developing your personal brand, right? A lot of that comes with using social media apps, Instagram, etc. And so what are your thoughts on some of these apps, and like, what are your favorites? Which ones don't you like? Which ones have you felt have been the best in developing your brand?
Okay.
And,
let's see.
Yeah.
So I would say my favorite's probably Instagram, just because I like artistically, I like the visual aspect of what can be done on Instagram. So I would say my favorite's probably Instagram, even though my favorite should be my website, which is on WordPress. I do not use TikTok. I am not a TikTok user. I was on there for about 3 hot minutes, read some stuff on the news, and still keep reading stuff about it. Read an article about a week ago. I'm good on TikTok. I don't need to go viral that bad. I'm not that impressed. I don't care.
Let me tell you this. There's an influencer on Instagram who does fashion or whatever, and she does videos on TikTok, right? So I messaged her like, is there, you know, just very kind of,
yes,
I wanted to know,
yes,
is there a reason why you still use TikTok knowing that they have racist practices?
Yes.
And her response was simply, oh, this video is old. Okay, but you still posted it.
Right.
You're still using it. So.
You're still on TikTok.
And then, like, okay, so that was like 2 weeks ago. And then this week you post another video using TikTok. So, ma'am.
No. And see, and stuff like that. So, stuff like that, too. All of these things play a role in the integrity of your brand. And it's not to say like, oh, I don't like so-and-so because they use TikTok, but all of these things, all of these moves that we make in the social channels, all of that plays a huge role in our brands. And I think people don't think about it that way. It's kind of like, oh, like I kind of disconnect from it when I'm offline. And it's like, no, like when people see me in the streets, like you better not be out here fighting and arguing with nobody. Like they're gonna be like, isn't that girl from? I'm pretty sure I might know her from somewhere. And you just really never know who you're gonna run into. I met a friend's girlfriend like 2 weeks ago, and she's like, oh, I follow you on Instagram. I didn't even know that, but it's like I could have been acting a plum fool. She would have been like, ooh, like that's that girl. Like, so you really just have to keep the integrity of your brand. And I feel like we all make choices and we all have the freedom to make those choices as creators, but those things play a role in everything. I know someone messaged me too about Trader Joe's because they put out some like weak statement when the whole like Black Lives Matter thing was going on. And it was definitely one of those things like, dang, like, should I still be shopping at Trader Joe's? Like, right. I don't know. Like, it's, you know, it's one of those things like, and it's not like my whole brand is Trader Joe's, but I am very vocal about the fact that I go there. So it's a whole lot to think about. So what I say, Instagram, WordPress, Pinterest. People sleep on Pinterest. Let me tell y'all. Pinterest is search engine. Pinterest is mood board. Pinterest is everything, everything, everything. If Google was only pictures, it would be Pinterest. It drives a lot of traffic to my blog. It drives a lot of traffic to itself. It's just something that people like to look at. I also just got back on Twitter after like 10 years. I've literally been off of Twitter for so long. I'm still working on it.
Twitter is my favorite. That is my favorite.
It used to be my favorite until I fell off. Now I'm like, I gotta get back on. I gotta start tweeting again. Like, I gotta say, but I do love seeing other people's tweets. So I'm definitely trying to get back on there. So those are like my 4 favorites that I use all the time, at the very least, all the time. And that's the thing too. So there's not a platform that you need to be committed to. Some people are YouTube strictly, like I'm YouTube and Instagram. I'm IGTV. Some people are killing it on IGTV. I'm trying to get there. So it's just like whatever platform works best for you, wherever your audience is, like definitely that's where you should be. And whatever you genuinely want to use. If you don't want to use, like, I'm not pressed to use TikTok, so I'm not about to be forcing myself to be TikToking to just be on TikTok, you know? So it's one of those things too, like don't feel the need to force it. Don't feel the need to be everywhere. Definitely hone in on whatever you feel like you work best, and just exploit that in a good way.
In a good way.
In a good way.
Absolutely. This has been so informative.
Yes.
Let's see, what else should we talk about?
Let's see. No, go ahead.
So I know that, you know, you not only have Daily Dose, but you have, you know, Paper and Poise. You also are starting Black Girl Luxury. So how does your one brand... Ooh, fire. How does your one brand branch off to form other brands?
Yes.
And like the process of starting a business amongst your brands?
Yes.
And all that stuff.
So that's the cool thing too about having a personal brand. It's like, I feel like we think, so even though I say I feel like people should niche down, there are other ways to incorporate all the things that you're passionate about. So I love paper, I love my planner, I'm super into like that whole situation and note cards and all that good stuff. So Paper and Poise, I actually have had the name for a while. It was originally supposed to be a invitation business, but once I was like, I'm done with events, I had to just let that sit on the back burner for a little bit, and then I was like, oh my gosh, like paper planners, Paper and Poise, we are ready to go. So I think naturally something that I thought, so you'll think that you're putting something on the back burner for now, but really you're just focusing on one thing that you know you can do well first, and then my dog, and then from there, once that first thing is going, I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can put some work into Paper and Poise. So I've grown that to 1,000 followers in 6 months. And the stationery community is just its own thing. Like not like I haven't had to do anything, but that people like, they go hard for the planner community. So that is like its own thing. And then with Black Girl Luxury, I feel like with my personal brand, as I grow and as I do certain things, I don't always want everything to be like on this platform, on my personal platform. So I was like, okay, well, luxury is my thing. Like, how can I make this something that's more like a community for people? So then Black Girl Luxury, like I literally wrote it down in my Evernote, and I was like, God-given Black Girl Luxury, like it just dropped in. I'm like, okay, let me get the Instagram name, let me get the email, like let me go get a website. Like it just happened immediately. And when things like that happen, you don't have to always know what it's going to look like, what the outcome is. Sometimes it's just accepting the idea, accepting the thing. Like, you know what? Yes, I'm gonna say yes to this and I'm gonna go after it. I don't know how, I don't know the answers right now. I don't know what's gonna look like. However, I'm gonna say yes to this. And when the time is right, all the stuff will come out, you know, for this. These things will start to just kind of flow together. So it's really, I feel like a bunch of passion projects in like my life turned into a business, which I want to work for myself. I want to be able to put people in a position to hopefully work for themselves. I want to just create a space where people can genuinely feel like, you know what, I'm tired of the 9 to 5. I'm tired of the hustle and bustle of what people say that we're supposed to do in order to be successful, unless you like corporate. Some people do like corporate. So if y'all like corporate, don't feel bad. No shade. But you know, we don't have to sit behind a desk these days. Like life is, first of all, quarantine itself will give you all the insight in the world. Like we don't have to do what we thought we needed to do anything. Like there's so much more that we can do. And I feel like I've asked God so much. Like I just want to work from home. I want to work from home. I didn't know it would come by way of a pandemic, but I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. I'm definitely taking it day by day. And I just really am like, okay, like maybe this is my transitioning period. Maybe this is, you know, the next phase, like maybe all of this. So everything is happening for a reason, you guys. Like none of this is by mistake. Everything that you're feeling, letting go of, trying to do, all of that is for a reason. Like you really just have to go after it. You know, you don't have to know the answer. I know a lot of us, including myself, it's always like, well, you know, where do I start? What's step one? And who's gonna care? None of that even matters. Like I promise you, none of that matters. I built paper employees from 0, like 6 likes. No one was even paying attention. And now it's like I have a little community over there of people who love paper and stationery cards. And we talk about our planners and pens, and you know, something that's silly to someone else is a thriving thing somewhere else as well. So you really just can't, you know, don't let naysayers, family, people will try to talk you out of everything. Oh, your little whatever. Oh, I saw you have your little blog, your little like it's little now, but it's gonna be big. So okay, if you want to, like, do not let people make you feel bad for wanting something that doesn't seem to exist. Like, if it doesn't exist, create it. Like, that's where I'm at right now. When I shop places and I'm like, okay, I want this. How can I create this? Like, not everything needs to be, you know, a business. Everything needs to be a thing. But it's like, how can I create something off of this? How can I build on this? Like, all these people that have, everyone wants to have, you know, the multiple streams of income, but it's from one thing and then it branches off. It's not just a bunch of random stuff, you know. Yes, it's investments and all that good stuff, but it's also a bunch of things that they love doing that they've turned into money essentially. So yeah, I just everything has its season, everything has its phase and its moment, and I'm still learning that because I'm a planner. I'm very methodical. I like to be in control of things, so I'm very much so learning that you don't have to be in control of things, and not having the know-all, if you will, is actually what makes it pretty exciting, because then when it blows up or turns on something, you're like, I didn't think it was gonna be that. Like, wow, look at how amazing this is. So, you know, I'm sure, I mean, and even when I think of multiple brands, I even think of you, like when LA Bread, like there's, like you've definitely
been some, you know,
listen, you've been putting on for a minute. So even seeing you, like, it's still just so exciting just to watch you grow, you blossom. Like, there's just so many things becoming an AKA, like all of that stuff is all part of your journey. That's what it's supposed to do. And you're going to use those things to then do X, Y, and Z to be Dr. Branch, and then X, Y, and Z. Okay. So that's how it happens. That's exactly how it happens.
That is exactly how it happens. Before we get out of here, though, you are Black Girl Luxury. So I have to ask, what is your, like, top Black Girl Luxury wanted item?
Wanted item? It's probably a car, and I want to say shoes, but I feel like, no, it's probably a car. If I could have what would be my like dream? My husband is squeaking the door. Okay, my black girl luxury item. Right. My dog, you guys. You guys. Okay. I would probably say probably a Rolls Royce. I think the truck, the like, was it the Cullinan? I don't know how you pronounce it. The truck, the only truck that they got. I actually saw one today and I was like, wow, like that's really nice. So I think for me it'd be a car. I'm always been a car girl. My dad used to have like low riders and all that stuff. So I'm definitely big on cars. So I think my thing would probably be a car, and then hopefully there's shoes in the car. So I could, have both.
Okay. Michael, are you listening?
Look, he left now. He gone now.
Right. He stepped out right on time. Huh?
Right.
Nope. Exit. No, I really want a Birkin.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And I know at some point I'm gonna get it.
You know what? So you want a big Birkin, or I really want a Kelly, just a cute little. I want a Kelly,
just a Kelly. Like, okay, so I want a Birkin. I will settle for a Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
And just whatever. I know it's like a tedious process. You might not know the color you want.
Right, that part.
But it's like, if I got the money, just give me the bag.
Right.
Like
I got what I wanted.
Just, that is like, once I reach Birkin bag and then maybe like black Range Rover.
Yes.
I'm set. Okay.
Yes.
Know that I've reached the pinnacle in my life.
Yes.
Where I'm comfortable.
Yes, exactly. Like that comfort level. Okay. And it's on the way. Like
it is on
that's
the way.
The thing. It's definitely on the way. Okay.
I don't think anybody had questions. There were people that were like so appreciative of all the gems that Jazmyn was dropping.
Yes. This was so fun. I wish I didn't have a milkshake earlier. I would have definitely enjoyed a glass of wine.
I know. Where'd you go? In and out?
No. What did he get? Winter Schnitzel shake. A mint. I'm like, what do they call it? A mint candy shake. But it's basically like a mint a mint like Oreo shake is what I'm trying to say. But it's very good. But I just figured, right? I'm like, what am I trying to say? A mint Oreo shake is what it was. But it was very good. What are you sipping?
Ann?
You
sipping? What are you sipping?
Right.
Let me tell you about my concoction.
Right. What are you drinking?
So it's the Glorious Margarita Mix. Well, it's margarita wine.
Okay.
Glorious margarita wine. A lot of tequila.
Okay.
A small can of ginger ale.
Okay.
And a splash of cranberry.
Okay.
It's almost like vacation in a cup.
I was gonna say that sounds real summertime. Like
it's very refreshing. I'm kind of like, damn, I should be on a beach somewhere.
Right. Oh my gosh, right.
Right.
Like that part, it's really grinding my gears. But the hindsight is we do have a lot of time to build whatever we're building, so then we can go on the beach and be on the beach for good. Like I'm trying to be on the beach and not have to come back all the time. Like I got to come back to.
I completely agree. I really feel like coronavirus slowed everything down for you to put everything into perspective.
Yes.
For you to really just sit back and be like, okay, this is what it is. This is what I want. This is how I get there. And
yes.
It really helped me map out. I cannot lie. Like, your tip on still using your planner and writing down everything has been so beneficial.
Yes.
Like at first I was like, I'm gonna just do this. But then it's really like sat me down to be like, okay, girl, this is what you're gonna accomplish.
Yes.
This is how you're gonna get it done.
Yes.
This is what you're gonna do. And it's like been so helpful.
It is. No, it's so nice too just to see, and no matter how much you accomplish in one day, when I look at my plan, I'm like, oh, I did this today. Like, dang, like we totally like brush over the little things that we complete every single day, no matter how small it is. Like, you know what? I didn't sleep in this morning. I did my hair today, like whatever the thing is. So even the littlest thing, like I love looking at my planner, like I did 3 things today and I needed to do all 3 of them, but I got them done. Tomorrow we will finish what I didn't get finished, et cetera, et cetera. Like just really appreciating what that moment has, which is so key to like learning to be present is really, really important when you have a brand, because I've had moments where I thought I needed to be here and there and I should be this and doing that. But it's like, you know what? Be present with where you are right now because you weren't even here at one point. So
Right.
just like, let's be here. And
Be
then
here.
when you're ready for the next part, you know, you'll be there. So
yes, that is so true. Oh my gosh, that's so true. Cheers to that with your
just
water.
be right. Cheers. My water. Man.
I truly, wholeheartedly appreciate you for joining me on a Kiki.
Of course. Thanks for having me. This was so
right.
fun.
This was just pure gems. Just
yes. You know,
like,
I like to share. I'm not a stingy girl, so I'm definitely
yes, and I appreciate that.
Yes.
So many of these like influencers or like people, brand developers, they want to hoard all the secrets
yes.
for monetary profit, which I get. But it's like you know, each one teach one. We have
exactly
to help each other. Like
exactly.
we can all pull each other up and
exactly. exactly. Right. Exactly. That's totally my motto. I'll monetize something different. I really do feel like that's one thing I didn't want to monetize my information in that regard. Like I really just feel like it just needs to be out there and like y'all can buy something else. Like we'll figure out what that thing is when that time comes. But I just really feel like now's like not the time to be like, oh, I can teach you this in secret. Like, no, I can tell you right now and you can then use it like right now. Right. So
most people think like, you know, they spend all this money on these things, but part of it is execution. If you don't know how to execute, once you get the knowledge, that's the difference between someone who's thinking about having a brand and someone who has a brand. Like one person decided to really just take action. Like I'm gonna do it. I don't care if no one looks at it for 3 weeks. I'm gonna just do it. The other person, I'm thinking about it. Like that action will literally make all the difference in the world. All the difference. All the difference in the world. Yes. Yes. So thank you, girl. Yes, you're welcome. Look, when quarantine's over, we have to get a real drink. Okay. We'll have to get a real drink. Okay, for real. Real drink. Maybe not in the restaurant just yet. Right. Because we'll DIY our own cocktail. We'll bring our own stuff. Because I don't know, everything is sketchy. Right, like, it really is. I had to go to Apple to get my mom needed her to get her phone fixed, so we went together. And in the time waiting period, we went to Cheesecake Factory, and I was sitting there. I was like, "Oh, I'm not." I miss Cheesecake Factory. Someone else I know was there too. I'm like, "Oh, I miss it." Yeah. The cheesecake is undefeated. I don't care how people feel about it. Yes, that is my place. That is my place. Like all the time. Matter of fact, when we're ready, we'll go to Cheesecake Factory. It's a date. Yeah, exactly. I'll be there. Yes. For sure. Thank you, girl. We will see each other on the other side. Yes, we will. Thanks for having me. Of course. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you for everyone that watched. Thank you. Hopefully this was helpful. Everyone. See ya. Bye.